possibly end the year with 15% growth rather than 20% growth in order inflow.
What about revenue?
Revenue, I did mention to you that at the moment we see limited risk to any decline from where we guided, which is at 15% is what we had guided. We're working hard to get there, but of course we'll have to get there and then speak to you.
So Ashwin Mohan here from ET now. Hi. First of all, congratulations on stellar set of numbers in a difficult environment, as you pointed out. I have two questions. How important is the demerger of the hydrocarbon business? Because you started out your presentation by saying that it's the most important development of the quarter. And does the order inflow of 21,722 crores include orders in the hydrocarbon segment as well? That's the first question. And secondly, what's the update on the proposed stake sale in IDPL? You had made an announcement in December last year that you had approached the FIPB. So if you could throw some light on that front as well.
The significance of hydrocarbon demerger is to inform that the process that we embarked on in May of this year has got completed, and the import of that is the numbers that you saw, all of which excludes hydrocarbons, none of which includes hydrocarbons. So accounts have been very carefully restated that all the comparable numbers are minus hydrocarbon. So any number, any references to those numbers in my presentation also excludes hydrocarbon. How important hydrocarbon business is, I will leave it to Mr. Venkatramanan to talk about. Just to complete the second part on IDPL, I don't remember having announced about we approaching any regulatory authority. We are the sellers. So we are not required to approach any regulatory authorities. Buyers do that. As I've been mentioning through my conversations with all of you during the year, it's work in progress. We are attempting our best to ensure that we are able to bring this effort to some kind of closure by end of the year. But as you know, the market is not seller's market, and so I don't think we want to put pressure on ourselves saying that there is a time deadline to meet and hence at whatever price I get I sell. I think end of the day it's our job to ensure value protection for L&T shareholder, and all of these assets and investments are a significant piece of that value. So we will take all care, and we're not delaying it our end. If the process spills over, it spills over, but at the moment the effort is to complete it. On a hydrocarbon
order inflow bit.
I'm sorry.
The 21,722 crores, whether it includes
No, I mentioned to you everything excludes. Everything excludes.
Regarding the importance of hydrocarbon, see, as our chairman has said before, the concept of verticalization was to give focus to individual businesses and also delineate businesses which have a global potential or international potential, and hydrocarbon comes in that category. Although it's challenging to secure and execute international orders in the face of competition in the Gulf from most of the international players like the Koreans and the Japanese. The most important part is that we've been on this part of forming an almost separate and strong international organization right from orders, procurement to execution, staffed with a blend of international lateral recruits at very senior levels, based in the Gulf in both the clusters, and integrated with a lot of our own people who have been deputed there. So this process is on. In fact, quite a few international people have joined at very senior levels and also at the middle levels. And in fact, one of the heads of the whole Gulf operation for the mid and downstream and construction business is coming on board. He was also an international person in the next 10 days. So we are in the process that we gear up with a much stronger organization to have capabilities of execution much better than what we are today internationally, and taking it forward in terms of then having almost a 50-50 share of international and domestic business possibly on a sustainable basis as we go forward.
Yes.
In terms of total value for the hydrocarbon business, what we like as a business, and also in terms of revenue for the hydrocarbon business, what it would have been, because what the analyst has estimated was around 17,700 crore for your business total.
See, I think the hydrocarbon business demerger completion puts it in the realm of subsidiary companies. So our stated policy is that we give standalone numbers for the quarterly, and the consolidated numbers would be available at the end of the year. So on a formal basis, how hydrocarbon subsidiary has fared during the current year would be available when we come with our annual results. Having said that, there is a technical point that the first 6 months results have shown hydrocarbon numbers as part of discontinued businesses. Discontinuing business, if you refer to the earlier ad. Now that the business is discontinued, the standalone financials have no room for such disclosure. And since we cannot be selective about disclosing information of subsidiary companies, we have not included them in the numbers. Insofar as business potential is concerned, we have always been maintaining that hydrocarbon is a large business. It has a potential to be $5 billion company. I mean, the company has the potential to become a $5 billion company in terms of size. And till last year, we've been running around, depending on where rupee dollar is, but we're running somewhere between 1.7 and $2 billion in terms of size. So, as compared to potential, you can say maybe we are at 40-45% of where it can get. The point that Mr. Venkatraman was saying is all the briefing that is being done in terms of strengthening the business, the technology execution, all of that will hopefully help us realize value once you put it up on a separate platform.
So while talking about the hydrocarbon business, I mean, that was a growth area even at a time when orders were far too few in the industry. Now with that segment gone, if we are looking at standalone L&T, would there be an added pressure on you to maintain that kind of order flow growth with the hydrocarbon orders not being taken into account anymore?
You want to say? I can add. No, I don't think so. Basically, as the reason of separating hydrocarbon is the type of talent management and the type of talent that you need here, because it's an international business, necessarily needed a lot of lateral recruits. And we felt that it being separate would give us more flexibility, like how Infotech is, in attending to some of the issues. As far as order booking is concerned, I think our international business also has got a tremendous growth potential through our infrastructure and heavy civil areas, and they're also very largely present in the Gulf and order booking, as you have seen. So we don't feel that there's any major pressure because of hydrocarbon going out for us to sustain our growth on a standalone basis as far as order booking or profitability is concerned.